It's Wednesday, June 17th. In the headlines in local news, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness urges stronger diaspora ties at 11th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference 2026, and St. Thomas set for housing growth. In business news, credit unions encouraged to fund micro, small, and medium enterprises. Regionally, a rise in early onset colorectal cancer raises alarm in the Caribbean. And in sports, Cricket West Indies names a 15-man squad for Sri Lanka Test Series. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Brittany Clark. Delegates from across the globe are now in Montego Bay for the 11th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference, which runs from June 14 to June 18. Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith welcomed the attendees on the opening day.
Welcome home to those of you who have never missed a conference. Welcome home to all of the newbies and the first-timers. Welcome to everyone in between. I know you have already ignited, reignited, and been embraced by the very special vibes that you experience when you come home. This is why you come. This is why you remain connected, because we know that there is nowhere like home, or nowhere no better than. Love it.
She called the conference a platform for meaningful dialogue and collaboration on Jamaica's development.
We know that this is the greatest opportunity, which we have every 2 years, to reflect on where we are in Jamaica, not where we think we are, to get the facts, to share perspectives, and to make sure that we exchange views on the best way to achieve the future for Jamaica that all of us want to see.
The minister spoke of the diaspora's role in national recovery efforts following recent storms.
Ladies and gentlemen, your participation in this conference comes at a critical time, as we have all heard. Since our conference in 2024, Jamaica has been seriously impacted by named and unnamed storms, but most recently by Beryl and Melissa. They've impacted people at a personal, community, and the national levels. And I know that's why we've all agreed that the theme is so timely, and it's why we have such an incredible day of service that's planned. So I want to say to the Leader of the Opposition that if he has a look at the program and if he visits our desk to the right, he is going to encounter the most incredible projects, a record 21 projects for day of service, all of which are going to be conducted in the parishes most impacted by Melissa. We thank you, we bless you all.
In a related story, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has hailed the Jamaican diaspora for its support following Hurricane Melissa. He pointed to the country's economic resilience despite a series of global and local challenges. Dr. Holness addressed the 11th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference in Montego Bay. Speaking to a packed audience, Dr. Holness said Jamaicans abroad responded quickly after Hurricane Melissa devastated sections of the island, providing financial support, relief supplies, and assistance to affected families.
The call went out, and you answered. From the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Panama, all over, wherever there were Jamaicans, wherever you planted roots, you responded. You sent funds, you organized relief, you spoke up for Jamaica.
The Prime Minister expressed gratitude for the diaspora's contribution to the recovery.
So before I speak about plans, programs, financing, or reconstruction, I want to begin with the simplest thing we do in Jamaica, which is to express gratitude. Thank you. Let me see the real Jamaicans who understand that. That's what my grandmother used to say, thank you. So, thank you. Thank you for proving again that distance has never weakened the bond between Jamaica and Jamaicans abroad.
He notes the Diaspora Partnership theme reflects the support already shown by Jamaicans overseas in the aftermath of the hurricane.
You acted before the conference banner went up. You moved before the speeches were written. You showed what partnership looks like when we are tested. This week gives that partnership more structure, more focus, and more work to do.
The Prime Minister touted Jamaica's economic performance despite facing a series of global shocks and natural disasters over the last 6 years.
But yet, Jamaica has held, and we have held up very well. Unemployment is at a record low. We're moving from as high as 13% 10 years ago to now just about 3.5%, the last figures that came out. It's a massive reduction. It has pushed us now, believe it or not, to practically full employment. And business people and employers will tell you that we now have another problem, a different problem, that we just can't find enough skilled labor to carry through the growth agenda.
Dr. Holness said the challenge now is to harness the skills, investment, and expertise of Jamaicans at home and abroad to continue building a stronger, more resilient nation. The housing crop in St. Thomas is set to see an increase following several site visits by the Housing Agency of Jamaica Limited. Chief Executive Officer of the corporation, Kevin McKindo, says this as part of an assessment that could lead to the acquisition of properties currently owned by the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation.
In our push to contribute to the development of the parish and to provide housing solutions, we invited HAJ along with other agencies to do their technical assessment to determine if these properties are ideal for development.
The assessment forms part of the municipal corporation's plan to subdivide 100 acres of property this year to facilitate future housing development and disposal of the lands. The Director for Technical Services at the HAJ, Rosemary Brown, says it is always seeking to increase the cadre of land as part of its mandate.
We will have to do our own assessment because we can only accept land to either purchase or otherwise develop that are suitable, and in that regard there are a lot of factors and parameters that we have to consider. Not only the physical feature, but we have to consider access to utilities, water, sewerage, electricity. We have to consider the financial viability of the project, because at the end of the day, we need to make sure that whatever we are building, that it will be sold, that the market will take it up.
The main role of the HAJ is property development, the construction and the sale of housing solutions for low to middle income earners.
Welcome to today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing you the developments shaping markets, capital access, and business decision-making across Jamaica and the region. Let's get into the stories that matter. Former Economic Program Oversight Committee member and immediate past president of the MSME Alliance, Donovan Wignall, told RJR News that credit unions are now in a stronger position to expand financing to micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. Mr. Wignall argues that credit unions should be given a larger role in the Development Bank of Jamaica approved financial institution program, through which concessionary loans are channeled to MSMEs at rates often lower than those offered by commercial banks. His comments follow the decision by the Bank of Jamaica to allow credit unions direct access to the real-time gross settlement system in the automated clearinghouse network, enabling electronic transfers between financial institutions. Previously, credit unions and their members had to rely on commercial banks to process and clear transactions, resulting in longer transfer times. Jamaica's credit union movement now serves roughly 1 million members and manages assets exceeding 218 billion Jamaican dollars. On Wednesday, June 10, 2026, the VM Financial Group Limited listed its 2026 preference shares on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. This follows an oversubscribed capital raise that garnered approximately 10 billion Jamaican dollars from investors. The listing represents the first new listing on the Jamaica Stock Exchange private market for 2026. The listing ceremony took place at the offices of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. The offer, which closed on March 31, 2026, exceeded its target of 8.53 billion Jamaican dollars by approximately 24%, and it comprised 4 classes of shares with tenures ranging from 3 to 10 years and fixed dividend yields between 9.25% and 10.5%. The funds raised will support the group's continued growth, expansion, and strategic investment initiatives. For the trading period of June 16, 2026, the most actively traded securities were Kentire Holdings Jamaica Limited with 13,287,561 units, representing 37.59% of market sales activities. Productive Business Solutions Limited US dollar ordinary shares with 5,813,958 units, representing 16.45% of market sales activities. Fosterage Company Limited with 5,108,545 units, representing 14.45% of market sales activities. Investor activity remained concentrated in distribution plays, signaling continued interest in dividend-producing and strategic assets. Turning to the foreign exchange market based on Bank of Jamaica data for June 16, 2026, Forex traders recorded significant activity with strong demand across major currencies. For the US dollar, trading margins reflected steady liquidity, with the US selling at $158.97 and buying at $157.05. For the Canadian dollar, moderate gains supported by $1.80 transaction spreads. The Canadian dollar sold for $114.19 and was bought for $112.39. For the British pound, continued volatility offered short-term trading opportunities of $1.80 in profits for the banks. The British pound sold for $213.39 and was bought for $211.59. These movements underscore the importance of cash flow timing and currency awareness for businesses managing import costs, debt servicing, or overseas exposure. For our credit report tip of the day, your education, experience, network, and skills all contribute to your professional success. Your credit profile should be viewed in a similar way. It's an asset that supports future opportunities. A strong credit score will not guarantee success, but it can remove barriers, increase options, and provide the financial flexibility needed to pursue ambitious goals. The most successful professionals prepare for opportunities before they arrive. So building and maintaining good credit is one of the ways to ensure that when opportunity knocks, you're ready to answer. In our funded and focused feature, so why do some business owners work 60 to 80-hour weeks, then volunteer in multiple organizations, serve on boards, support community initiatives, and spend decades building their reputation, yet never accumulate significant wealth? The answer is uncomfortable, because effort and wealth are not the same thing. Many business owners have mastered the art of working. Far few have mastered the science of wealth creation. The wealthiest people in the world focus relentlessly on acquiring assets that increase value over time. They own companies, real estate, intellectual property, investment portfolios, infrastructure, technology platforms, and equity positions. These assets continue creating value whether the owner is working or sleeping. The average entrepreneur asks, how much can I earn this year? The billionaire asks, what can I own that will be worth 10 times more in 10 years? And that's today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing clarity to capital, markets, and strategy. Until next time, stay informed, stay intentional, and keep building forward. See you soon.
In regional news, a leading cancer specialist is warning that colorectal cancer is no longer a disease affecting only older adults. New data show a troubling rise in cases among people under 50, with experts pointing to westernized diets, lifestyle factors, and possible changes in gut health as contributors. Speaking at a recently held forum, Mayo Clinic oncologist Dr. Jeremy Jones highlighted the warning signs, the importance of early screening, and the need for prevention as the disease continues to climb across the Caribbean and globally.
The increase in early onset colorectal cancer is a major epidemic, quietly rattling the Caribbean healthcare system within recent years. Hematologist and oncologist at the Mayo Clinic Comprehensive Cancer Center in Florida, Dr. Jeremy Jones, said that since 1990, the relative risk of developing colon cancer before age 50 has increased by 50%, with trends climbing at a steady 1 to 2% each year. He noted that although the exact cause of colorectal cancer remains unclear, research suggests that modern adaptation to a westernized diet, including foods such as red meats, smoked meats, alcohol, and tobacco, may be a major driving force behind its rise.
We think that, again, part of this is westernization of the diet, so, processed foods, things like that. But there's likely other factors at play, whether it has to do with changes in what we call the gut microbiome, or essentially the healthy bacteria that are in your gut. There is some evidence to suggest that change is factoring into this increased risk. But what causes that change, we don't really know.
Statistics from the World Health Organization places colorectal cancer as the third most common cancer among men and women globally. Dr. Jones explained that the disease, which affects both the colon and rectum, will usually present some telltale signs.
Blood in your stool, if you go to the bathroom and you're seeing blood, that's something that needs to be checked out. Sometimes patients have significant abdominal pain. Sometimes patients will notice changes in their stooling habits. So, having diarrhea or significant constipation, or even changes in the structure of what the stool looks like in the toilet.
Dr. Jones emphasized the importance of heeding the warning signs before symptoms become severe.
Number one is prevention. Obviously, if we can prevent the cancer from happening, that's the best outcome. And so that's along the lines of colonoscopy, some novel screening mechanisms, using some AI-powered tools that can potentially pick up on early signs before even a physician could pick up on signs or symptoms, I think is very important.
With one of the largest liver transplantation programs in the United States, Dr. Jones noted that the Mayo Clinic is committed to conducting research to develop treatments that can benefit a wider range of patients.
In addition to that, our goals are to try to find susceptibilities within the cancer that can potentially be targeted to kill the cancer, but not cause dramatic side effects to the patient.
As colorectal cancer becomes increasingly prevalent in people under the age of 50, Dr. Jones is urging earlier screening and healthier diets as essential steps to help prevent its continued rise.
Citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis are now required to obtain a visa to travel to or transit through Ireland, following a decision by the Irish government that took effect this week. The move also affects the St. Lucian nationals and comes amid concerns over the impact on travelers, diplomats, and economic citizens. Despite the policy change being announced last week, no official statement has been issued by St. Kitts and Nevis authorities up to news time. Television Caribbean's Glenn Bart has more in this report.
June 15, 2026 is the day citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis lost visa-free access to Ireland. Television Caribbean made contact with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs at Port Sainte for an explanation of the loss, but as of news deadline, no official has made an announcement to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Ireland made the announcement on June 11 through its Minister of Migration, Combe Brophy, and he stated in part, quote, "This is a carefully considered decision that brings Ireland more closely in line with the approach taken in the United Kingdom and across Europe. Irish visa requirements are kept under continuous review. The aim is to strike the right balance between maintaining effective immigration controls and ensuring that people can continue to come to Ireland to visit, work, study, or join family members," end quote. The visa requirement impacts in-transit passengers, direct entry passengers, as well as St. Kitts and Nevis diplomats and economic citizens. However, Minister Brophy revealed that a transition period applies to persons who already hold travel arrangements to or through Ireland and who would have made arrangements prior to June 15. Such persons must travel to Ireland no later than July 14, 2026. The visa-free revocation made in the announcement also applies to one other Caribbean citizenship by investment country, that is St. Lucia, and to Nicaragua in Central America. The development was picked up by multiple news platforms, including some that report on matters relating to the Caribbean's citizenship by investment programs. Although Ireland publicly disclosed its new policy since June 11, no official statement was issued by the St. Kitts and Nevis government up to our news deadline for Monday, June 15. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website still lists Ireland as a country with visa-free access to citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. Glenn Bart reporting for Television Caribbean, TVC Channel 40.
In sports, we go trackside with athletics. The Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association held its official press conference on Monday, revealing game-changing updates ahead of the highly anticipated 2026 J3A Puma National Championships, the ultimate trials to select Jamaica's sprinting superstars for the world stage. Marlon Samuels was there and filed this report.
J3A executives unveiled key highlights designed to elevate the competition, promising an electrifying atmosphere at the National Stadium, June 18 to 21. When asked about the event's evolution, they emphasized how these changes will sharpen athletes' competitive edge and boost Jamaica's medal prospects.
This year we will also, a new initiative with the staging of the under-15 multi-events for the first time at our championships. And we plan to make this become a part of the event structure on our championships, at our championships, because this age group is also the next step leading into boys and girls championships at the secondary level, and so multi-events. We want to get back to the days where our multi-eventers can now compete internationally. Might I also say we have been doing exceptionally well at the age group championships. We have been champion for the last 3 staging, and so this time around we thought it's best to have this event annually, although the competition is every other year. The competition will be very strong. We have the men outdoor champion in oblique civil, and he'll be in the, aiming to regain the title of being champion here at our national championships. And the women, on the women's side, again, the defending champion, surely those who want to lose her position. So majority of the events, because I've been looking at the event by list, and we are really and truly having some very strong competitors in our sprints, in the field events as well.
Executive members also provided an update on securing long-term financial support, ensuring Jamaica remains competitive on the world stage.
3 other companies, those are the main persons who support us locally. Majority of our funding come from overseas, And the president alluded to two particular companies. And that's where the bulk of our maybe 80% or 90% of all our sponsorship, 90% maybe, for our sponsorship received. So we do not get a lot of support. Although we are successful, the country benefits from in terms of global value of Jamaican sport brand Jamaica. We are the brand, track and field, but it does not maintain in terms of the support we get locally. We continue to seek support in terms of how we manage our resources, how we deal with sponsors or partners, and the type of image that we want to portray. In terms of the second part about athletes, you may not know that, but I think this should go to the world. We have averaged 10 million a year to athletes over the past 10 years. The average, not always 10 million, but the average is 10 million. And to date, for this year, we have spent 7 million in support of assistance to athletes. And these assistants, we talk about training, sometimes in terms of meal, supplemental allowance, in terms of preparations to events, and how the equipment and how they manage. And you might wish to know that all the equipment that's owned at the stadium, with the hurdles, the discus ring, the shot, everything you see there, all the bags owned by the JHS. So when we go to our event, what we get is a shell, the high jump bags, the pole, everything that is there is owned by the JHS. And for your information, one starting block is like $420 US. And one hurdle is like 422 for 30, whatever it is. So you understand, if you have an inventory where we have about 200 hurdles, and you look at an average of 420 per one, you understand the level and the value of our inventory.
With electrifying competition and solid backing, Jamaica's track legends are set to shine once again. Stay tuned to PBCJ as history unfolds at the National Championships, June 18 to 21. I am Marlon Samuels for the news on PBCJ.
In other news, Cricket West Indies has named a 15-member squad for the 2-test series against Sri Lanka, beginning June 25th at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium in Antigua. Roston Chase will lead the side as the men in maroon look to close out the World Test Championship cycle on home soil. Here's more from Nasira Mohammed.
The 15-member West Indies squad named for the 2-match test series against Sri Lanka features the return of wicketkeeper batter Joshua De Silva, who scored nearly 1,000 runs across the last 2 seasons of the West Indies Championship. Also recalled is Amir Jangu, who finished second in runs this year, including a double century, his first test selection since January 2025. Fast bowlers Alzari Joseph and Shamar Joseph are back after injury kept them out of the India and New Zealand tours. Head coach Darren Sammy says every test series is a chance to grow. Calling Sri Lanka a quality side, his team must be at their best to beat. The squad is now in a high-performance camp in Antigua, running until June 22nd, focused on fitness, technical work and match preparation. A 4-day warm-up match begins June 18th at the Coolidge Cricket Ground, with Tevin Imlach captaining a 13-man West Indies Select 11.
In football, FIFA World Cup action on June 16 delivered a series of decisive results as several teams strengthened their push for early qualification in the group stage with wins, while others were forced to settle for a point. Reigning champions Argentina made a strong start to their campaign, defeating Algeria 3-0 in a dominant performance built on control and clinical finishing. France also opened their tournament with a victory, beating Senegal 3-1 as they capitalized on key scoring opportunities to secure all 3 points. In other results, Austria recorded a solid 3-1 win over Jordan, while Norway drubbed Iraq 4-1. With early group stage standings beginning to take shape, teams now shift focus to their next fixtures as the race for knockout qualification intensifies. That's the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.